computer, but I don't know how to pull that up.
So everybody, this is my wife Tara, and she is the lady voice of CMBD and CMBD Lady Raw, and she's freaking awesome. Okay, and that's all I gotta say about that. And she's gonna have a dope conversation with you guys. It's gonna amp you up, and so yeah. And she just graduated too.
Yay! Thank you very much. I'm gonna log off, and then I'm gonna try to log on from my computer. So give me 1 second.
Just entered the link. Hopefully she gets it.
So Charles, you're currently out of town for work?
Yeah, for Army training for work. Yeah.
Okay, and Tara's back home right now?
Yep. Holding down the fort with the kids. Yeah, man, she's awesome. It's a challenge, man. I mean, dual military, it's temporary though. So, yeah, it's what we do. Aside from dropping denim and heritage goods.
I saw that like chore coat, 2 different colors, the green and red. Man, that's really nice looking. I like the denim inside breast pocket.
Oh yeah, thank you, man.
Nice touches, man.
Yeah, that's from 2018 Cone Mills.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's special. It's so special.
Yeah, it is.
I'm back.
All right, babe.
And my browser filled.
Your browser filled. You got the floor, babe.
Hey,
Natalie held me down as a co-host, so we're good. We're leaving. Muting.
Oh, you guys don't have to leave.
No, we're just muting.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Global Denim Kings, for having us. Amanda, we appreciate you. Charles, I'm sorry, but your daughter would like to see you.
Okay. This is something you guys got to get used to. You'll see our daughter at denim chats and everything. Hey, Champ.
Say hi. Okay, sorry about that. So, like Charles was saying, my name is Tara, and I am the female voice of Charles Miller Brand Denim. I am originally from Lafayette, Indiana, and I'm sure he said that we're in the military. We're both active duty, so we kind of travel around a lot. We have 2 children. We have Alicia and Ezekiel. Alicia's 5, Ezekiel's 9 months. Yeah, and that's just pretty much me. I did graduate today. I'm pretty hyped. So yeah. I'm continuing the celebration with you guys here. Yeah, so I did want to talk about a few particular things, but is Emily on? Emily,
I'm here.
There you are. Go ahead and introduce yourself as well. How are you doing? Nice to see you and meet you.
Good to see you. I'm super excited to be here. This is my first time actually participating in the Global Denim Hang. I'm still kind of on a high from winning Denim Bingo 3 times. That was super fun. I love Jess. But for those of you that don't know me, I have 2 accounts currently on Instagram. So I run my personal Instagram, which is a roast for Emily, and then I've started just kind of my denim geek account, which is Blue Jean Dreamin'. I grew up outside of Philly, so I heard some of you are also from PA. Currently, I reside in West Virginia. So I've been there for the last 12 years. I have 3 amazing daughters. They are 18 almost, and my twins turn 13 actually next Friday, which is crazy. So we're kind of dealing with the madness of virtual school right now, which, is interesting. So, I mean, that's pretty much the gist of, that's the short of it of me. Oh, I guess I could also mention, as most of you guys probably already know, if you're still hanging out from the last call, I'm one of the DC Denim Hangs members. And I just adore Natalie and Mike, who was on an earlier podcast episode of the Hang. So no more whiskey.
Why not? I have a truly.
I've got this is an apple pie cider, which literally tastes like an apple pie. So I'm in trouble.
Yeah. I need you to let me know where you got that from. But anyways, first things first. So everyone who does have a drink, I just want to cheers to you all. So happy you guys are here. Cheers. These types of things are really good. They're really inspiring. Yeah. Oh, let me get you cheers. So basically, Emily, I know that we have some questions that we're going to discuss. So I want to start by asking you, how has this past year changed your perspective of wearing raw denim?
So as I kind of mentioned, when we were chatting with Charles and Co earlier, I'm definitely new to personally wearing raw. I've worked in retail, similar to Natalie, fast fashion. So, I've been a bit of a denim geek for a while, but never actually took the leap to start my own personal raw denim journey. So I finally bought my first pair earlier this year, kind of bought them on a whim. And got them, and I just purchased my second pair of raws, 2 different brands. The second brand that I bought, instant favorite. They've just, from the moment I put them on, they honestly just felt like they were literally tailored for me. So, I've really started to kind of venture into making my denim truly, truly mine, because the only thing I've ever worn prior to this was, already distressed or already faded. So I'm really excited. It's been really fun. And even though I've only been wearing that second pair that I bought, they're actually this amazing pair from a company, a female-owned denim company called Gamine Workwear. So I'm honestly currently obsessed with those, and I've been kind of noticing some of these fun little fades here and there. Zero shame. I keep my phone in my back pocket, and I'm not saying I've been spending a significant amount of time rubbing my butt on things, just to get those like nice little fades, but I will put it in the chat in just a sec, because I am on my phone. So as soon as I can, I'll pop it in there. So yeah, no shame.
That's awesome. So for me, as most of you guys know from previous chats, our lives that we do every week through the brand IG page. So I started wearing a pair of men's raw denim, and I will say that it's changed my perspective just based off of the fact that the quality is there. And with fast fashion, things break down much quicker because they're already, tampered with, if you will. So the one thing that I'm looking forward to is the weather changing so that I could wear them more often, just because we wear a uniform every day. So like Charles, he wears his denim every single day, like driving to work, but my commute is shorter than his. So I just wear my uniform. So I don't get as much opportunity to break them in. But I want to be more intentional while it's cooler to put them on the weekend so I'm not like suffocating because I don't like to be hot. So, but just in general, my perspective has changed in the fact that I've grown to appreciate the quality of raw and the fact that, you know, there's brands out there, even ours, we recycle and we, you know, resell. We have the Relive program. And I just think that's really cool because, like, you know, I was a habitual Old Navy offender, and I would always purchase, you know, the 2 for $40 or whatever. And, you know, it's easy to turn those over. It's easier to just wear them for a year and then turn them over to Goodwill and just be done with it. But the fact that, you know, when you buy a raw pair of denim, you build a relationship with that pair and they become part of your journey. So my perspective in denim has changed. I've been able to appreciate it more. And also my perspective in heritage goods has changed as well. Because for a while, I was just like, I don't want to wear anything used. That's weird to me, you know. But the fact that instead of it breaking down and like the value of it going down, it increases just because it has a story behind it. And I think that's so cool. And I've been wearing a chore coat that Charles had bought me. And like it has little stitching where like little holes were patched up and everything. And like, I don't know the story behind it, but the fact that people notice that, hey, you know, that's been worn a lot and it's still holding together instead of like when you pull one string, it falls apart. And I think that's amazing. So yeah, that's pretty much, that's my perspective on it. So.
Yeah. And, you know, to your point, like, it's funny that you mentioned kind of wearing things that people have worn before. My first pair of bras, I got, you know, brand spanking new. I worked with the brand to actually make those, you know, custom fit and inseam, and I got to choose the denim, which apparently I have a thing for 13-ounce cone denim, I'm discovering. So the second pair that I bought, you know, I've been actually really into buying, you know, some secondhand stuff. So the pair that I actually got from Gamine, a girl had purchased them for herself and kind of discovered that they were actually too small for her. So she had worn them like twice before she decided they weren't going to fit her anymore. So she kind of messaged me, hey, do you want me to wash these? And I said, no, just, you know, don't wash them. It's not weird. It's cool. You know, when I got them, they were basically pristine condition still. So, you know, there's still so much story to be told in those. But, you know, by contrast, one of my favorite finds was an old pair of Wrangler jeans that I actually found at one of the antique stores that I like to go to. And, you know, I got super lucky that they're a perfect fit, but they just had those like perfect, already kind of broken in, you know, phrase on the hem and on the seat. And they're just awesome. I love them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what's your perspective on women and men's denim?
So I think, you know, I definitely know that there are lots of women that can just go buy a pair of the men's and it automatically fits them. I think for me personally, if I could fit into them, absolutely I would do it. Actually, I'm lying. I'm currently wearing a pair of men's chinos. So
cool.
I think it's just about, you know, finding the right fit for you initially. And sometimes that can be potentially a little trickier because we're used to women's sizing. But
right.
I'm all about wearing men's stuff. And I'm a, you know, fairly petite, small person. So, you know, I don't know. I kind of love it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And, you know, I love the way that the men's pair, you know, works for you. I think the fit's just absolutely awesome on you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've gotten, like, I don't know if you've heard my story in regards to wearing men's clothing and how I related it. Just a quick recap, if you will. Like, my mother, she's a lesbian and she wears men's clothing. And so I always associated wearing men's clothing with that being my identity. Like, I would be automatically a lesbian, I guess. You know, just when you're younger, you know, your thinking is not as broad. So, but just this year, like, I'm like, you know what, we got to figure this out. Like, the denim situation, like, my husband, you know, is a denim head. So I'm like, I need to figure this life out pretty much. He's like, just try on a pair of men's. And like, I was on IG live and we started talking about it. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to do it. And then I was like blown away the fact that they fit so well. So, you know, now I'm like all about normalizing this. A fun story is my goddaughter came to visit from Texas and we were in one of the stores in the mall. I think it's Zoomies or something, like one of the skater stores. And she's like, I really want to go look in the men's section. I'm like, well, let's go. I'm all about this. Let's do it. You know, she's like, really? I'm like, let's do it. And she's like, okay. And so we bought her, you know, she got a shirt and she was so excited. And I'm like, all hype. I'm like, you know, godmother of the year. But yeah, I just think we need to normalize it more. You know, of course, there's nothing like a great women's fit as well. But like, you know, why not be able to wear both?
Yeah. And, you know, as I said, I have 3 daughters. So, you know, my kids, I kind of raised them to, you know, not necessarily think about, is this for boys or is this for girls? It's more, you know, if it's something that you like and, you know, it fits you and it makes sense, like, wear it, buy it. So,
yeah. And that's the thing. That's the thing there is, I think that society with the labeling, it makes it a little nerve-wracking, especially for, you know, younger generations coming up. Like, and it starts at home. We need to be like, no, it's fine. You know, just because it's men's or women's, it's not your identity. Go ahead, Angel.
Can I jump in? So you guys were talking, I think I commented on one of CMBD's posts talking about this particular topic about the women's versus men's clothing. And I commented that my wife and I were at a store. It was like just a resale store, like a secondhand type of store. And I found this it was like a camo jacket. It was like an old military camo jacket, woodland fatigue, and it had like roses in it as well. And it was in the men's section, fit me perfect. And I took it home, and on the ride home, I think my wife drove. I was looking at it on the way home. I was like, and I Googled like the name on the tag, and it was like some women's brand. And I was like, it fits, right? And so I wore it for a little over a year. And then this morning, it's just a funny coincidence. This morning, we went through and handed down a couple of our garments to our kids. We have a 14-year-old son and a 13-year-old daughter. And my daughter took the jacket. So I guess apparently she had her eye on it, but it worked out perfect and no regrets, right?
That's awesome.
I love that.
That's so awesome. Yeah, I was actually talking to Charles about, you know, once we are able to finally launch the women's line, that, you know, I want it to be all inclusive. Like, I want men, if they feel that they want to wear a pair of the women's denim, to go ahead and purchase it. Like, you know, at this point, there's no holding back. So I don't know about you, Emily, but, you know, this year has been pretty trying. And, you know, it's really impacted some things in our life. But what about yours? How has this year impacted your well-being and, like, you know, your mental health, your physical health, just everything? How are you doing?
You know, I think it's been quite a bit of a roller coaster, as you know, most people have kind of been through. So I actually lost my job. I was part of the, one of the victims, we'll call it, of the impending retail apocalypse that they've been talking about forever. But my company actually filed for bankruptcy. And unfortunately, my store was one of the stores that was closed. So I've been fortunate enough that I've been able to find some employment. I don't want to harp on that too much. But I've been out of full-time work since the end of July. So I think Natalie actually mentioned it a little bit ago in the chat, but I grew up very much a tomboy. My dad raised me. His profession, he was a machinist, and he's a carpenter, so he's always worked with his hands. And I've always found myself to be somebody who, is more fulfilled when they're doing something where, it's a tangible, piece that they're working on or something that you can see. So long story short, what I'm getting at is I've decided to kind of take things into my own hands, and I'm actually making an entire 180, doing a total career change. I enrolled in a welding school program. So I'm pretty over the moon, just with the whole idea. It's kind of one of those things where I don't know exactly where it's going to take me. And I'm kind of there, I'm just ready for wherever I end up going, so whether it ends up being, thank you. Whether I'm doing sculptures or I'm actually, doing some pipe welding, it's always been a dream of mine to rebuild motorcycles. So, that's kind of something that I'm thinking could be a potential possibility. And I know you guys really talk a lot about community, and that's definitely something that I've seen direct impact. So, immediately my family, Natalie, Mike, have all been the most supportive. So, it's been really helpful because it's definitely a time where you don't really feel good about yourself. It's really hard and really humbling to lose your career that you've worked on for, 12 plus years. So, the community honestly has just been amazing. I feel like every time I'm talking to somebody about the program that I'm getting ready to start doing, they're like, oh, I know this person, that does welding. Go talk to them. They'll let you check out their shop and everything. So, I'm just dipping my toes in the water. So just kind of getting there, but it's just it's kind of crazy, a whole new path that I'm about to head down. So, and you too, having just graduated, which is absolutely amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been over 10 years of me working on my degree. So it's just a huge relief, just because, 10 years of life events and just things occurring, and, so to have it done is amazing. So I appreciate that. So this year has been a bit stressful, obviously, to say the least. I remember at the beginning of, quarantine, we had a newborn and we had a 4, almost 5-year-old, both here at the house, and we both were required to work still. So, we were trying to juggle 2 schedules and juggle the kids in between meetings and everything like that. And so that was difficult, but of course, thankful to still have a job. There's several people, including yourself, who have, lost their jobs or are struggling with, finances. And we have close friends that both the wife and husband, they both lost their jobs. So, it's just heartbreaking to see, but honestly, I was able to work on my physical health a lot. So I went ahead and invested in a Peloton bike. If you guys follow my personal Instagram page, you'll see like when I post my little victories, when I, hit I beat my own personal record or whatever. And so I really made it a point to work on my physical health and make sure that I'm, working out and making sure I'm, doing something to help relieve stress, because being in the house for so long, I thought I was going to go nuts. So I volunteered to be the one to go out in the wilderness and go grocery shopping and, because I have to be doing stuff to stay sane.
That's how I am too.
Yeah, it's really hard. And like when, there were so many uncertainties with going grocery shopping, things are just so different. And then like you're scared to say hi to your neighbors. You're, waving from like a mile down the street, like, hey, no corona, please. But, it is what it is. But I think over time, things have become, this is the new normal is what I always say. And we've been able to adapt and overcome the challenges. Mental health, I felt like there was a point where I was just going through the motions because that's what we had to do. And, I had to take a step back and just focus on my mental health, because I noticed that I was getting depressed or whatever the case may be. And that's when I realized I needed to get out of the house. So, John, yes, the bike is definitely worth it to me. I absolutely love it. And actually, I'm kind of upset with Peloton right now because, first of all, everyone spends a bunch of money on these bikes, but then they want to come out with a new bike that has a full swivel freaking screen so you can do strength, and it's like a strength training now and cardio, so that you can have your whole total gym like right there in one space. And I think it's like $500 more, but I think it's worth the investment. It's an amazing bike. I have never sweat like I sweated before on there. Like, it's ridiculous, but I love it. So yeah.
So I think, I saw Mike said in the chat too that, how stressful it is to be inside. And I think, at first I organized every single closet. I organized every single drawer. I went through everything. And I know, that's something that so many people did. Everyone took an opportunity to kind of clean out their house. I really tried my best to keep myself sane by doing projects around the house. So I did, some remodel in my kitchen because I live in a house that was built in the 90s, and it's not really, to modern day. But that's okay. Not knocking the 90s, Natalie. Don't worry, I'm not knocking the 90s. But it was really tough. And at first, when we first started into quarantine, 90s are in, I guess, just not that oak. But when I first went into quarantine, I kept myself busy, but I still had kind of that carrot of, I'll have a job. I will be there eventually. So this time around, this kind of feels to me like quarantine 2.0, where, I'm not going to work every day, and my mental health, has definitely not been the best lately. And, I think it's totally okay to admit that. And it's something that, I'm for sure aware of, and I want to take steps to fix. So, there are definitely ways for, you to kind of do that with like limited resources. So I've been trying to just, kind of refocus my thoughts and, try not to stress so much about, the weight of the world. I think the best thing that I've done for myself in the last couple weeks has been to delete Facebook, to be honest. Facebook has just, it's been bad. So.
I can imagine. I actually got rid of Facebook probably at least 3 years ago. And I don't think I'll ever go back. And I had to delete it for my mental health. Like, it was really making me crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I totally, and it's okay to not be okay. So this month is actually Mental Health Awareness Month or Suicide Awareness Month, I believe. But like, it's okay. Like, I feel like this is also something that needs to be normalized, is talking about like when you're not okay. Like, are you depressed? Are you, having anxiety? I mean, I struggle with both. So
yeah.
It's easy for me to ask people, are you suicidal? Like, that's something we learned in the military of, being able to really check in with people.
Yeah.
And really like ask the hard questions, because, if they're not asked, then we'll never know like how people are really doing. And so, I try to post some things that are, motivational, but also like real. Like, it's okay not to be okay. It's fine. But what are we going to do to get you to where you are okay? And especially during this time, so there's a girl that I know, and she's out there in Oregon with those fires. I think it's Oregon. Yeah, Oregon. And she keeps posting like what it looks like when she opens her front door. Like, they're not allowed out of their house. Like, it completely looks like a cloud of, just, you can't see. It just looks like complete fog on these photos that she posts. And I mean, it really makes me feel blessed and thankful, like, because things could always be worse. And I'm just like, there's nothing else that could happen in 2020. Like, I'm gonna lose it, Like, it's just so weird. It just seems like one thing after the next, after the next, after the next, but you still gotta find something positive out of it.
Yeah.
It might be hard. It might be hard, but
it is tough.
So,
I think I've personally been really lucky, even going through, losing a career. I've just had a really awesome support system that has enabled me to kind of lean on people, when I'm not able to necessarily like carry myself. And I think, that's super important. And I think for sure I keep calling them out, but I for sure think my group with the Denim Hangs. So, it just, they were the first friends that I've honestly hung out with, since quarantine, and we were all very safe, and we were all, a little nervous to kind of hang out and get together, but it just, it felt so good to kind of reconnect with those people. But yeah, they've just been phenomenal.
I totally wish I were there so I could hang out.
Well, we're talking about doing a little bit of a road trip. So if I can get everybody coordinated, we would definitely love to do move what she said.
I do
what she said. Just come back here. It's better on the East Coast.
Listen, if you guys do a road trip, my address can definitely be an overnight stop. So you guys we will house you and take care of you. So, and I will cook.
We will, we'll make sure to coordinate it with the launch of the Cmblady Raw, so that we can,
we have models.
Exactly.
So I did want to ask you, so had you not lost your job, would you have went ahead and stepped out and gone into welding?
No.
It sucks that you lost it, but that's amazing. Like, you're doing something that is just so awesome.
Thank you. Definitely I can definitively say no, because for me, it's once you get to a certain level of comfort in your salary, you're like, why would I ever, intentionally choose to do something, that where I wasn't as comfortable financially. And I know lots of people, I definitely see a lot of stories of, people who have kind of taken that leap, and they're so much braver than me, because had I not been pushed, I probably wouldn't have made the choice. I feel like there's a very real fear and anxiety that I know I personally experience of the unknown. And it's so funny because like the thing that you're looking at might not even be that scary. It's just that you don't know and you're too afraid to actually look.
Right.
I'm definitely super guilty of that. So, I'm trying to be braver. So this is definitely, I think, a step in the right direction for me.
Yeah, well, just know I will be cheering for you.
Thank you.
And yes, because sometimes like we need to just be stripped of that one thing that's holding us back to really step out and just go for it. And I know you're going to rock it. I know. That's so awesome. I can see you with a little helmet thing on already, like with your little thing.
Well, yeah, I have, I feel like such a nerd, I've got all my gear and I've been like trying stuff on, and I've been really excited to actually get going and kind of start to break in some things. So like kind of bringing it back to the denim, like, I feel like I'm super excited to be the person that's going to be creating all those, like, when you are digging through vintage and you find those Levi's that, the steelworkers wore in the 40s and 50s, like those are going to be my jeans and I'm making those. So, I'm kind of really excited about that. I think there's a serious lack of women in trade, and that's a whole nother avenue.
Oh yeah.
So,
dang.
Yeah.
We need to have a denim story on that. Seriously.
Yeah.
But so what do you think is next in the denim journey? Like, I mean, I know you said you're just like working in 2 pairs right now, but like aside from Lady Raw, of course, but
well, you guys know that I've been wanting a pair of those, so I'm super hyped for when those do actually launch.
I need the factory to open.
Yeah, I know. And I feel like that's been, definitely a struggle. So I can be patient. Once I'm working and I have more money, I gotta wait for that anyway. But so I'm definitely excited for those. If you're wondering about other brands that I'm really into, I have to once again shout out Gamine Workwear. Taylor is the founder of that company. So it's her and another girl named Whitney. So I've been looking into getting a second pair through them. I'm currently on the wait list, but when I posted that original photo of those, she DM'd me on Instagram and we kind of chatted about, where we live. And it was just so cool to chat with her. Like I totally wasn't expecting that. And then I had just posted an update a couple weeks ago with some of the fades that I'm starting to get and like how exciting that is, and kind of talking about, that I'm counting down my days to welding. And she came back and commented, and she said, just the sweetest thing. And it was that post like that one are why she keeps coming back to social media. Yeah. And I really feel a connection with her personally too, because not only is she a super badass, awesome female that's, heading her own company, she's also a full-time gardener.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which I don't know if you can see my plants behind me, but I
was admiring those because I am really struggling in the green thumb life. So we'll talk offline about that.
You got it.
I need some help.
I'm currently on the wait list for a pair of those. So I will eventually add, they're called the Slim Slouch. And I've just had really great communication with Whitney, who's her sizing expert. And thank goodness for somebody who's a sizing expert. Because as you know, we've all experienced with women's sizing. And even though, you look at it and you're like, it's the size chart, it might match some of my measurements. What do I do if it doesn't match all of them? So yeah, it's just a whole thing.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to look into them. Because I would like to get, obviously, I'm going to have, I'm going to rock the Lady Raws once we get them. But, I do want to get a pair of women's denim or, whatever. And I've never heard of them. So, yeah.
So I have the pair that I currently have is called the Sergeant Dungaree, and I didn't bring it with me, but if you check out my Instagram, I wear them all the time now. They're just my absolute favorite, as I said. But they have these really awesome reinforced longer patches on the knees, and
cool.
Those will definitely be awesome for me in the welding shop, because they've got that extra bit. So, you're not necessarily going to get the blowout there. So the next pair that I'm looking into investing in is the Slim Slouch. So, I'm so glad I talked to her about it because she said that the fit's entirely different. So, we'll kind of see how they work. But they're also, I believe she's also got her denim is from Cone Mills. And they're a surprisingly great price. They're under $200. So why not? Especially to support, awesome. The female-owned company too.
Yes.
And actually, speaking of a female-owned company, I've been talking to the Indigo Prophet, and they're based in North Carolina.
Wow.
Which I would love to just take a day trip down there because I'm not too far. I think they're also in the Appalachian Mountains, which is just south of where I am, a couple hours. So they started with 2 fits of women's, and I haven't tried them out yet, but they just launched a men's pair too. So those could be kind of interesting for any of the guys looking for some denim. So yeah. And
so for me, I want to get a pair of women's that fits well from another brand.
So I think, what I think the toughest thing is just finding that exact fit, that works for your body. And if you've got somebody there that you can kind of talk to and just chat like, hey, these are my measurements. That's so far, that I've been super impressed with that. So that's hard to find.
It really is. It really is. And I have very long, I guess the long inseam legs. I have long legs. So, that everything is high waters on me. It's kind of ridiculous. I'm like, I just bought some capris. That's not what I wanted, but they're capris.
Well, I'll cut off all my extra inches and I'll send them to you because everything is miles too long on me.
Thank you. I need it. So are you going to participate in the Denim Walk Challenge? 7 miles?
Absolutely. I really wish Natalie had her roller skates because I would totally grab her and drag her to go out roller skating with me. So I think we're going to we'll put a pin in that for later. But I think what a fun challenge, between me and my girls and the dogs, we have some beautiful places to walk around here. Oh yeah. You got some skates too?
I love skating, but I don't have skates.
They're all on back order right now because everybody decided they wanted to be a roller girl.
And everyone's trying to get fit too. So
I mean, that's
bikes are sold out, everything. Ridiculous.
I know. So my twins' birthday, like I said, is next Friday, and actually just called a bike shop about getting them new bikes, and they're like, "No, we don't have any in stock." So I'm
Wait,
slowly realizing.
You're twins. You have twins.
I have twins. Yeah.
What? That's awesome.
Yeah. So they're about to be 13.
Like that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I had two. I was babysitting a 8-week-old, and I had Ezekiel 9 months. I was freaking out. I was like, "What am I doing? This is crazy."
Yeah. I can't even imagine. I don't even remember that time. It's kind of a blur, but
yeah. That's when you're like a walking zombie.
Yes. And it's funny, you know, like thinking ahead, and I know they were talking earlier about, you know, what Gen Z is buying and kind of what millennials are buying. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you know, I am really big into just clothing in general. So it's something that I even talk to my kids about. And, you know, we not because we have to, but just because we want to have less of an impact, we do shop. We thrift a lot, honestly. We shop used. And so I'm super proud of my oldest daughter. She's very into fashion. She does spend a lot of her own money shopping at Forever 21 sometimes, but she mentioned to me yesterday that she wants to start investing in pieces. And she's only, you know, almost 18, and you know, I love that. So of course, you know, I immediately jumped to, you know, talking to her about denim and how that's the biggest piece that she should really invest in. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited that
you thrift. Are you like good? Obviously you thrift and you probably are good at it, but like, what would you recommend? Like, because my thing is if I go into a thrift store, for one, like it's very overwhelming because there's so much crap. Like, everywhere. So that's what really turns me away. So I'm like, okay, I need someone to go to the thrift store for me and find something because I can't do this. So, I mean, do you go like with one thing in mind, or you just go to browse?
Usually I kind of tend to go with an open mind. Usually, and this is kind of funny, this circles back to wearing men's. Typically the first spot that I hit is the men's denim. And then I hit the men's t-shirts because I want to see kind of, you know, what they have. And sometimes it can be very hit or miss, you know, and I've kind of just tried a lot of different things, and it's a lot of trial and error, but you have to find kind of the right place, who has the best selection. But I feel like you really you kind of have to go into it with a little bit of an open mind, you know?
So that needs to be next too in my denim journey. One, find a pair of women's. Two, explore a thrift store with an open mind.
There you go.
That's the hard part, the open mind part. That's hard.
Yeah, we'll put that on our list when we make the road trip out there.
Yes, take Tara to the thrift store.
But yeah, like, so I had a free day today, and I kind of spent it. I just drove up the main road for a couple miles, just kind of looking for yard sales. And honestly, I hit a couple, and I found some really interesting pieces. And yeah, eBay and Etsy, you can definitely find some good pairs there.
On Etsy?
Yeah, there's a huge vintage community on Etsy.
What? Who would have known?
Yeah.
Wow.
See, for me, it's like, it's the thrill of the hunt for me. So that kind of like, that's my last resort. But I just love kind of digging through and finding that like little piece of gold, but it's not always going to happen.
I probably need to start on eBay or Etsy then, because I don't get thrill in hunting for anything like that. Like if they're like, you know, TJ Maxx or Marshalls, if I walk into one of those stores and it's not organized, I turn right around. Like, I'm like, I can't do this. So,
but you might be surprised. Like some of the thrift stores that I've been in they're really nailing it these days.
That's good.
And you know, if you are, I don't know how close you guys are to the city, but like I've taken a couple trips to Baltimore because we're not super far from there, and I just have hit a couple really good areas, but sometimes you'll find that right shop that, you know, is a specific aesthetic, and just kind of talking to them like, all right, I'm looking for this, you know, what shop should I hit? So yeah. I don't know how to, I think once you, once you find your first big find, then you kind of start to get hungry for it. But yeah, for you, getting into the hunt.
Getting into the hunt is going to be the challenge. Yeah. So I'm probably gonna have to walk the 7 miles. I probably do not have a choice, I'm sure. So look at Charles. But for those of you whose thighs rub together like mine, make sure you wear some chafing cream so you don't, hurt yourself. But yeah,
let's just
so
hope for some cooler weather too.
Yeah, exactly. And Charles is gone, so maybe I should secretly soak his denim, Michael, or wash it. Yes, I saw someone said that we should wash it on there, so maybe we should do that. He'll kill me.
We'll fight.
But anyways,
everybody. We'll fight everybody.
I love this idea. I think it's amazing, and I love Charles's reaction.
Yes, Michael, it needs to happen. I'm serious, but Charles is a hater, so. Yeah, so I guess we could open it up for questions. We got about 10 minutes. If anyone has a question or a comment for us, or I just really appreciate
how you deal with Charles's unbridled enthusiasm and positive mindset at all times.
I
Do you
don't.
just punch him in the throat occasionally, or?
Yeah. It can, when I want to be negative Nancy, like, he doesn't let me, and it's really annoying.
Frickin' Charles.
Yeah. Seriously. But yeah, I just go to the room, honestly. Go to my room and pout.
That seems fair. That's what I would do too.
Yeah. Where I'm like, get me a beer. I can't deal with this. I love your shirt, by the way, Emily.
Oh, thank you.
I need that. Yeah, I love that shirt.
Thank you. It's a beer, drinking a coffee.
My baby woke up. So Amanda, I just want to thank you for, inviting us to be on here. It was awesome. Is she there?
We're just really grateful to you guys for being here and helping us, supporting us and doing this. And they've been great chats, because I think everybody's been concerned about mental health at the moment. It's going to have affected everyone in some way, and luckily we've got this great community to be part of and support each other. So it's great that you guys are doing the move in Denim, and because I definitely need to move. And I'm so looking forward to our Denim roller gang.
Yes.
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 Yes, Natalie. Tell me when your skates come in, Natalie, because we skating. We're gonna shoot the
I'm
moon.
ordering some.
Fam,
Yes.
I ordered these skates in May. I skated as a kid and I was like, cool, it's cool. I can be cool. I'll order in May. Back ordered till June, July, August. I don't know if they're ever coming.
Wait, which brand did you get? Was it like the Moxie ones or?
Yeah, because I was like, if I'm going to go, I better go big. It was a mistake.
I feel like this is a new little hobby thing that I'm going to go down the rabbit hole, because I was all like looking at the top brands, just like I do with Denim. And I was like, ooh, what's this Moxie brand?
They're so
Okay,
cute.
so I won't order. You guys give me another brand to order from, and maybe I'll get mine before you, Natalie.
Tara, so you should look for Rydell.
Rydell?
I'll send you, Rydell skates. That's what I skate on.
Okay. Yes, I'm going skating.
Made
They're
in
not
Redwood,
as
right
cute
across
as the
from the
Moxie.
Redwood Shoe Factory.
Say that again?
They're made in Red Wing, right across from the Red Wing Shoe Factory, Rydell Skate.
Oh, that's so cool.
That is
I
cool.
would know that. Tim's got all that Red Wing trivia.
My mom actually used to work there.
I think it's amazing that you guys are so willing to like break legs and stuff. It's totally rad.
Listen, I did roller derby for a little while and didn't end up with any broken bones, so they can do it.
I didn't do roller derby, but I do have insurance. So it's good.
So you got that going for you.
Imagine the wash we're gonna get.
Oh yeah, these skates are cute. These were the upgraded skates at the roller rink. Like if you want the speed skates, you had to pay like extra $5. So I'm excited.
They're so good. Natalie, what color did you end up getting? The green?
Yes, lime green.
Nice.
So cute. Look secondhand too. I'm sure there are a lot of people who bought them at the beginning of quarantine and now no longer want them.
I don't know. You know, secondhand denim, I'm just accepting that because I'm like, secondhand skates, too much athlete's foot.
No, I mean,
one thing at a time here, Natalie.
Because they can't like literally skate from a hospital bed, so you're fine. You're fine.
Okay, true. But one thing at a time here, guys. Like seriously.
Baby steps. Baby steps.
Yes.
I've been loving watching you guys, your journey in the raw denim though. It's cool. It's nice to see the process from the start and people getting into it, and because it can be intimidating, and it can be like, do I really want to enter this weird world of denim? And once you're in it, there's this whole thing that goes with it, which is awesome.
Yes.
So we've got a few more minutes, but we've got Mike from Encampment in already. So yeah, we're going to be talking about his one-man brand. And I just want to take the chance to say thanks to Tara and Emily and Charles and Natalie. That was a brilliant 2 hours. Loved it. It was great. Thank you so much. And Mike, because you helped out as well. So I think I just want to talk about the raffle again. I know we say it every hour, but yeah, just anybody who hasn't got the tickets, go and grab yourself some tickets, because we're going to be doing it. Well, here it's this morning, so in a few hours' time it'll be drawn. So get your tickets, and there's really good prizes. And then if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, do all that stuff. Ben's better at doing this bit than me.